Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Let's see. Well, we're live. That's good.
Good.
Oh, I'm going to record here. Record.
And was wondering if you all had.
It's going to be interesting when we do a closed session. I'll have to figure out how to. I guess we'll just have to end the stream and end the recording and then start it up again. Hopefully that'll go smoothly. But you all don't let me, when we get to that, don't let me move forward until I verify that we have done that.
I have confidence in your technology skills.
Wow.
No pressure.
That's scary. That's scary.
No pressure. No pressure.
There's the mayor.
Hey, good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, all.
Good morning.
Looks like we're all here and we are live.
Okay, thank you, Andrew. And we're right on, well, it just clicked over to 10:01, but we're pretty darn punctual. Good morning, everyone. And thanks for joining us for this meeting. How's Jessica today?
Good, thank you.
Good. And Scott?
Fine, sir. How about you?
Another day in paradise. Judge Covington and I spent a couple hours Zooming last night with a large group. So, Judge, good to see you back this morning.
Yeah, that was a marathon.
That was a marathon. That's true. And Gina, thank you for representing the superintendent today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yes, ma'am. Why don't we go ahead and call the meeting to order? And Jessica, if you'll let the minutes reflect that Dr. Hub has a very suitable proxy sitting in for him today. Each of you, I think, have had a chance to look at the minutes from our last regularly scheduled meeting of June the 25th. If there are any questions or additions, we'd be glad to hear those. If not, we'd entertain a motion that they be approved.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
Thank you.
I'll second that motion.
I second the emotion too this morning.
Sorry.
That song's going to be stuck in our head now.
That's great. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed to that? Thank you. Minutes are approved. Moving right along, Scott, with a relatively brief agenda, depending on the different subjects that you and Jessica might have to regale us with. I see first on the agenda is a penalty and interest abatement issue.
Yes, Mayor. As promised last month, this is the second round of these. We had a little bit of a backlog. This should get us caught up. A few less. Do I need to share the screen? Does everyone have the spreadsheet? I can do either one.
Yeah.
If you could show screen, Scott, it might be helpful for anyone if we have any live streamers watching.
Everyone see that?
Yes, sir.
All right. So as you can see here, most of these are in the $75 range. The mitigating factors are in many cases the same. They have a prior record of compliance. We have several possible postal issues, which is we've had some of our own postal issues here at the Revenue Commission, so we tend to give some credence to that when folks have said they have mailed in extensions, sometimes in groups, and we get some of them and not others. The one I did want to draw your attention to is the one that's rather large, $3,685. This particular taxpayer is unique in that they paid in full their entire tax bill plus the penalties and interest via our third-party vendor that we had a year or two ago. And then they subsequently sent a very heartfelt request for the penalty and interest abatement. And they had some very serious life-threatening illness in the family, and it created an extreme financial hardship. And after we reviewed it, we thought that it was appropriate to put that amount in here as an approval request. As you can see, the breakdown is there on penalties and interest, and also the breakdown of city, county, school, and the breakdown of what particular tax, whether it's net profit or payroll, that we are requesting approval to abate. And if there are no other questions, I think the report, like last month, pretty much speaks for itself.
It certainly does. And it sounds like in one case, Scott, a real opportunity for the commission to do what sounds like the right thing.
Yes, I think it will be quite the blessing to these folks to get this substantial abatement.
Okay. Is there a motion for approval of the staff report on abatements?
I'd like to make a motion to approve the staff report as presented.
I'll second that.
Thank you. Jessica, was that motion okay? Does that give you the authority to actually pay it? I just want to make sure I worded it in a way that got you where you wanted to be. Okay, all in favor of that motion, say aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed? Thank you. Scott, have you made some progress with GMWSS on the lease arrangement?
Yes, Andrew has submitted a lease for Jessica and I to review, and I think we made one minor addition to it. And Andrew has sent it off to the water company. And the response we got from Chase was that he would present it to the board, and hopefully it will be on the agenda for their next meeting in August.
Good. That's encouraging.
That's the only way we're going to get feedback, really, is to just submit it and say, here's our first shot at it. What do you all think? And then we'll go from there.
Okay. Well, it's good that it's a live process. I think it's appropriate.
Right. So we're very excited at the prospect of this happening.
I bet you are. Jessica's nodding her head emphatically. Okay, Scott, Andrew, we had next on the agenda just a general discussion. Is that for reports or things that may be of concern to commissioners, or?
I think it's, go ahead, Scott.
Well, as we've been doing, we've got an updates. One of the attachments I send to the packet is an updates. They don't require any board action. A little bit shorter list this month. If anybody has any questions, I'd be happy to answer those. There was another report sent. We went ahead and sent you the fiscal year end 6/30. Let me pull that one up here. So what this report shows, it's one that we share frequently with the commissioners. It shows where we wound up for fiscal year end 6/30. As we anticipated, the decrease over the last year was pretty significant across all three jurisdictions. That's the bottom green number here under city, county, school net profit. And of course, the prime mover there is the fact that there was no April 15th filing deadline. So none of those revenues came in when they normally would. In fact, the filing deadline was last Wednesday. July 15th. So we're in the midst of processing a lot of that mail right now still. And then, of course, in 3 months, the folks that filed an extension last week will be filing in October for that's kind of the final drop dead date for the 2019 filing year. You scroll down and look at the occupational payroll withholdings. Again, not as bad as we thought. It was a decrease for all 3 jurisdictions, but overall, it was a 1% decrease year over year for the city, county, and I believe 0.5% for the school. So there is a disclaimer on the updates that I sent, just to let you know, this is aggregate collections. It's only tax because we want to give you just a clean tax we got last year, tax we got this year, kind of a comparison. It's not going to tie back to your distribution reports because penalty and interest is in there. In the case of the city, there are regulatory fees that we collect that would be in that. And then, of course, the distributions are also net of refunds, financial inducements to certain employers who have those projects active, and of course, our expenses. So this is kind of just a snapshot of where we were year over year with the tax collections.
Scott, as we've mentioned before, the payroll tax collections have seemed very robust in the face of everything that's going on. Does the 1% surprise you that it's not greater or different?
It is. I think if you look at the 3 months of the fourth quarter, April, May, and June, you see obviously a precipitous drop in those months. But the first 3 quarters of the fiscal year were so strong, they helped to offset that. So I think I said early on that the sad thing is that with the first 3 quarters of the fiscal year, we were on track to exceed the prior year before COVID. So it's clear to see what happened and when it happened. But because we did have a robust first 3 quarters, it helped mitigate some of those fourth quarter losses.
Good, thank you. Then it's some comfort, but kind of cold comfort in a way when we look at the last quarter.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Any questions for Scott on his report or things he listed? That's a very helpful synopsis for us.
You're very welcome.
Andrew, anything under general discussion you've got?
Yeah, before we move on, we talked about this yesterday. We have one item of business that we weren't able to squeeze in 24 hours before the deadline to have this meeting. So it's kind of important. So I think what we're asking the committee to do is to agree to a special called meeting, maybe Friday. It's literally like a 10-minute matter. It's super important, but it's an easy decision. It's I think they need to replace their dying server, and in order to, it's a process that's going to take a while, and they don't need to wait another month in order to get that started. So I just wanted to bring that up to your attention, and maybe I can try to get us organized for a super quick Revenue Commission meeting Friday. And Scott, if you
I would be out on Friday.
Okay.
Would it be possible for us to go ahead and approve an expenditure up to X dollars?
It's not on our agenda is the problem, Judge. We can do it tomorrow.
I understand then.
We can do it because it's a special call meeting. We can do it tomorrow after 11, if I can hurry up and get an agenda out, or in the afternoon.
No,
Or Judge, you could just have your treasurer sign in for you.
yeah, I mean, whatever. Michelle could be our proxy. I'm sorry, it's not that complicated. If it works better to do it Friday, then Michelle can be our proxy and
Well, what do y'all think about tomorrow afternoon? I mean,
I'm available tomorrow afternoon. I just have court at 4:00.
okay. Well, let me just real quick look at the calendar. Yeah, I mean, my afternoon looks open. Mayor, you've got something at 1:30.
Yeah, that's the long delayed Georgetown Housing Authority Board meeting that really needs to happen.
Why don't we do it at
a Zoom meeting? But
why don't we do it at
Andrew,
12:30, 12:45?
Andrew,
Yeah.
just do it Friday, and Michelle can be our proxy.
Okay.
I mean,
Well, that's fine. I can
Whatever.
do that.
whatever works.
Okay.
I'll do it tomorrow afternoon, or Michelle can be our proxy Friday.
I'll set it for Friday. Friday at 11 o'clock.
Dr. Hub won't be in the office, so I'll probably be the proxy again. I'll be sure and get the form for you.
Sure. And I think, Scott, remind me, this was in your budget, right?
No, it was not.
Okay.
That was not something we put in for the budget because of the cuts we were asked to make. I didn't want to put it in there. We were limping along okay, working with the database developer, and I apologize that I couldn't get it on this agenda, but quite literally Monday, 2 days ago, the server kind of took a turn for the worst. And we're okay, we're operating, but it's of concern. And I like Andrew said, I didn't want to try to limp along for another month.
Okay. I'll shoot for Friday at 11 then. And I'll send out a Zoom invite and just forward it on. Actually, I'll just copy everybody. So that's all I can think of for the general discussion, unless Scott and Jessica, you've got any more.
No.
No.
I guess I'll add that we are working on regulation revisions. We are kind of wading through, and it's hard to call them revisions when we never have adopted regulations to begin with. But we are taking what would have been our regulations, and we are massively overhauling them, and it's going to take months until we're ready to bring that before you all. But it's under process.
And we're very excited about them.
Anything we'll have to change our policies to conform with you, our rolling conformity that we have, anything we need to be in the works with board wise?
You do need to, I think Devin just sent an email about the rolling conformity that the city passed, that the school still has not passed, and then the ordinance that the board approved last meeting. Devin sent that ordinance to the county and to the school board, asking that you all get that adopted. And that ordinance was about the due process procedures that we are wanting to put in place so that we can move forward on collections. So you have school has 2 items to implement, and the county does too.
Can you send them to me also? Doesn't look like I have them, please.
I will send them. I will forward them to you.
Andrew, I think she sent those to Rand.
She did.
Okay.
She sent them to Rand. I think she sent them to Billy Parker.
We might need to do a reminder of when we need that with Rand. So if maybe I'll try to ask him to look that up, but maybe she could send it again, because I know Rand will say, "Can you have her send it again?"
But she literally just sent it
Today.
10 minutes ago.
Oh, she did today? Okay.
Yeah, just 10 minutes ago. He's on there. So
All right.
both his email addresses.
All right.
One thing I did want to point out on the updates requiring no action is that our managed service provider, Spceical, has been acquired by another firm. It's called VC3. That's Victor Charlie 3. I'm not familiar with them. I have reached out to Jack Plax, who was our project manager for our risk assessment a couple of months ago. He said he is not familiar with them either, but he would look into them. Our project manager with Spceical, our account manager is Mark Holbrook. He's the one that notified me of this right before it went public, and I appreciated that. And of course, as with always these acquisitions, and nothing's going to change right now, but of course, I'll be watching closely to see for potential rate increases, things of that nature. Whereas Spceical has always been a medium to small jurisdiction, that's been their market. This particular firm, I'm told by Mark, is a medium to large. So obviously this was, as is the case in many acquisitions, an attempt to purchase market share. So we will see, hopefully we'll remain positive. It may mean good things for us, maybe some expanded offerings, but I did want you to be aware that that had happened since the first of the month.
Interesting. Thank you. If there's nothing else for our general session or general discussion, I notice we've called for an executive session. Is that correct?
And here's how this is going to work. I'm going to share my screen, and one of you is going to read the motion that I've drafted. And then after you do that, and after you have the vote, I'm going to stop the broadcast, stop the recording, and then I'll let you know when we are free to proceed. So,
Okay, we're putting a lot of electronic trust in the way in which we're doing an executive session.
I know it. Well, that's why I'm going to
Be very careful,
verify
please.
everything. I'm going to verify everything before I tell you to move forward. So, first thing you should see is, hopefully you see a Word document.
Yes.
So one of you is going to make that.
I'd like to move to enter executive session pursuant to KRS 61810 1C to discuss matters of proposed or pending litigation against or on behalf of the commission.
I'll second that.
Thank you. Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed? Thank you. That motion carries. And Andrew, if you would proceed with an electronic.
All right. We are back to live and recording.
Live and recording. Since we're now just back live, Judge, would you repeat your motion to resume regular session?
I'd like to make a motion that we resume regular session of the Revenue Commission meeting.
Thank you.
I'll second that.
Thank you, Tina. All in favor of that motion say aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed? Thank you. We'll resume regular session. And while in executive session, we discussed the items that were listed in the call. And of course, no action was taken there. Scott, is there further action to come before the commission today?
No, sir, just a notice that the next special call meeting would be our normally regularly scheduled fourth Wednesday of August, which is the 26th at 10 a.m.
Plus the
Sounds
one we're
good.
having this Friday.
Plus the one we're having this Friday, yes.
And Andrew, you'll notice us and the media on that one.
I'll send it out right away.
Good enough. If there's nothing to come before the commission, we will. Is there a motion for adjournment?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second that.
And we'll vote with our